in June, on June 15th, Fortune published a review of the Fortune 500, and it showed a chart, Joseph, that I wanted to tell you about it, starting in 1955 and until 1995. So for 40 years, the GDP of the U.S. and the valuation of, or the Fortune 500 revenues sort of moved up together. They were almost in perfect alignment. And then the World Trade Organization goes into effect in 1995, and the financial coup begins with money disappearing from the federal government. And suddenly, the Fortune 500 revenues explode. And as of 2017, the GDP is up 4,600%, but the Fortune 500 revenues are up 9,000%. And that is a giant sucking sound.
Yes, it
of
is.
Every ounce of economic value from the real economy into this, the planet equity. And, some of that is legitimate stuff and some of it's not. It's our old friend, the highly levered company coming in with a high PE and sucking up all the market share locally in a way that shrinks the total pie.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
This is a computer-generated casino, and the thing about these flash crashes, the other thing that I think that I need to mention here is I have this strong suspicion, and it's been increasing every time I see these flash crashes occur, that what you're looking at is a system that may be showing all the signs of an artificial intelligence, because increasingly the quants, the people that have designed and run these high-frequency trading dark pools, even they admit they no longer really know what's going on. So to me, that's kind of a tongue-in-cheek way of saying, well, the system has woken up and it's driving itself. So to me, this changes the investment culture, and this is what I think you've said so many times about decentralization. Can we relocalize? And I think increasingly people are going to have to be aware of, if they're investing in some project locally or regionally, they're going to have to be aware of to what extent is a company or partnership that they might be considering going into business with, to what extent is that group or company exposed to these national markets that are so manipulable and manipulated by these computerized trading systems. I think that's going to be, like you say, the great sucking sound, and that's the way they're going to try and suck even more wealth out locally. So that's a strategy I think that we're going to increasingly have to be aware of.
Right. Well, that's the war on cash. That's
the war on cash. Precisely.
That's pushing the war on cash. The thing that concerns me is there was an excellent article in The Economist about 6 months ago called In Retreat, about the fact that multinational companies had steadily dropping margins, and we're getting a lot more competition locally all over the world, including in the United States, and their revenues are falling. And in fact, if you look at this Fortune 500 chart for about a year or two, sure enough, revenues are falling. And this is happening in combination with what you and I have talked about at the end of the debt growth model. And Cynthia McKinney and I talked about it, and it's in the little video we put up for the second quarter wrap-up this week, where we said, the problem is now you've got all these rich criminal slugs, and now that things are shrinking, the game is sort of winding down. They're fighting over the pie, and the pie is shrinking, and it's turning mean. And to me, the big danger here is war. Because I think one of the reasons the press for a bigger military budget and the press for war is they see war as the only way to compete back into the game.
Right. And that's all the more reason, again, that people with money to invest and time to invest need to start thinking in local and regional terms.
Right.
And to be very careful about with whom they're dealing with.
Right.